lay down in your bed after a long day to finally have some peace. Your eyes get heavier and heavier. You drift off to sleep, but instead of peace, fear takes over. You're on your own. You're powerless, and no one can help you. You cannot ask for help because you're now on the other side and have no power over your physical body unless you wake up. Sound familiar?
Hello, what up? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Freddy. Welcome. How's your day going? Your night going? I hope everything's awesome. Tonight I'm going to be talking about Freddy Krueger, one of my favorite scary dudes, horror movie characters. So if you like the movie A Nightmare on Elm Street, you're gonna be happy about this one. I mean, who doesn't? That's like my second favorite horror movie. Used to be my first before I saw Insidious. That's my favorite horror movie. Oh my god, I just realized they kind of all, they're not the same, but they're about the dream realm. Oh my god, that's pretty cool. I never thought of that. Ooh. A good realization. Before you get started though, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe because I upload videos every week about spooky stuff, scary stories, urban legends, real paranormal stories, and all of that. So if you enjoyed this kind of stuff, this is a place for you. If you just subscribed, welcome to our little spooky bell fam. Also, don't forget your like if you enjoyed this video because it really helps the channel. And check out my merch. The link's gonna be in the description below and in the comment section. Now, if you want to hear all about Freddy, just go ahead, turn off your lights, and stick around. So Freddy Krueger is a dream demon who has the power to shock his victims while they're sleeping, in their sleep, in their dreams, and eventually kill them. So if you die in the dream, you die for real. That's how it goes. People will get so terrified when they see him. They'll go days and days without sleeping. But as you know, eventually you start to hallucinate and you just fall asleep. And that's when he will attack you. That's when he has the power to, since you're not 100% awake anymore. You can't. And you know the rule, never sleep again, or else he'll find you. That's his realm. I love how in the movie Freddy versus Jason, he's like mocking Jason and everything until he comes to the real world. So he has no power anymore. But anyway, he did have a normal life before he died, before he became this dream demon. In fact, he was married and had a kid. Yes. He had a little girl. He tried so hard to be normal, but the urge to kill was too strong, so that made him give up on the normal life eventually. So slowly but surely, he became the town's worst nightmare. And then literally, the town's worst nightmare after his death. He targeted children the most. He was a serial killer known as the Springwood Slasher. It took people a while to put all the evidence together. When they found out, the parents wanted to take revenge, obviously. So they burned him alive, which is why he's all messed up. And that's when dream demons use him. They wanted humans that were just so evil they could bring hell on earth. And he was one of them. So they gave him all of this power, the power to enter people's dreams, get in their heads, like stalk them, know what their fears are and all of that, and eventually kill them. So the more he kills, the stronger he gets. The more people know about him, the more people talk about him, the stronger he gets. Now, the crazy part is that this whole thing was actually inspired by real life events. Not quite like the movie, but just strange enough to be considered scary. First of all, he was inspired by somnophobia. Hope I'm pronouncing it right. But somnophobia is the fear of sleep. I used to have that. When I was a kid, I would try so hard not to fall asleep, even though it was like, oh, I'm so tired and my eyes are closing and getting heavy. But I would try the hardest to stay awake because I had very vivid nightmares, as well as sleep paralysis, which followed me till recently. And by recently, I mean like couple of years ago. I mean, going to sleep can be pretty terrifying. You're all alone on the other side, or in your subconscious, whatever you believe in. I believe that your soul travels to other realms, so you're all alone there. And time is different over there as well. Completely different. So anyway, this young boy said he was afraid to go to sleep because he feared death was waiting for him in his subconscious mind. And unfortunately, he was right. So there was this article about this boy who was having terrible nightmares and eventually got scared of going to sleep because he said that if he went to sleep, that thing would chase him and kill him. So he tried to stay awake for days and days, but everybody falls asleep eventually. And when he did, his parents heard him screaming in his sleep, and by the time they got to him, he was dead. He died while having the nightmare he feared so much. Now, how just super scary, bum chilling is that? So Wes, the creator of Freddy Krueger, used all of that as inspiration, and he also found out that there were many cases just like this one. And the medical term for this is sudden unexplained nocturnal death syndrome, and I'm pretty sure I pronounced all of that wrong, whatever. So that's what the thing is called, SUNDS, and it is more common than we think. So that's pretty scary to think about. So it affects Southeast Asian men the most. So according to my beliefs, sleep demons, otherwise known as shadow figures, do exist. They're also in the vampire category, but not blood-sucking vampires. This is another type of vampire. They'll take your energy, which is why some people will sleep for hours and hours and still wake up more exhausted than ever. Some need fear to feed on you. Others can just get close to you and take your energy. Pretty scary, huh? Sleep paralysis demons are known all over the world. Each culture has a different name for them, but they all do the same thing. And that's the scary thing about sleeping. Your soul travels between dimensions, and some are just not very nice. And you have things following you, taking advantage of you, and so much more. So if you guys haven't seen the movie Insidious, I definitely recommend you do it. If you haven't seen Freddy Krueger, A Nightmare on Elm Street, of course you should do that as well. But I think Insidious is more, it's closer to the reality of what the dream realm is. What do you guys think about all of this? Have you ever heard of this before? This whole somnophobia thing? Definitely let me know your thoughts. And have you ever had a scary dream that scared you to the point where you thought you were gonna die in it? Because that's happened to me before. I was struggling to wake up. But here's a little tip. Every time you're having a nightmare and you realize you're having a nightmare, you try to wake up but you can't. Close your eyes and visualize your body laying in bed, and then you wake up. Trust me. Anyway, thank you guys so much for taking the time today to just watch this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Leave your like if you did. I hope you're having an awesome day or night, and I'll see you children in my next video. Toodles!